Hello everyone, today we're going to be walking through one of our custom Power BI templates for Epicor ERP users. If you aren't aware, we have built 6 templates using Epicor's SQL database as the data source. Basically, we pull the essential metrics that a manufacturer would typically monitor from an Epicor perspective and make them even easier to get to. The goal of these templates is to allow you to skip right into analyzing data instead of messing with the tables and data models. So this demo will be focused on the production review template, but like I said, we have 5 other templates out there as well. Those demos will be linked in the description below, so make sure to check them out. Before I get into it, just a quick reminder that these reports are available online through the Power BI service via Microsoft 365. If you have a Power BI license, just log in with your Microsoft 365 credentials to access the reports that you've been given access to. Okay, so I'm logged into our Office 365 Power BI service, and these are the 4 templates I have available. So let's click into Production Review. This template focuses on labor transactions and jobs. The first tab, as always, is a summary view. The first metric I'll point out on this screen is the total indirect by direct percentage. This defines the percentage of time that your direct employees are spending on indirect labor, such as training, cleanup, and meetings. You obviously want to keep that percentage low, meaning they're focused on more direct tasks. So this is a great metric to be able to just hop on here and see. The other focus on this tab is the total productivity percentage, which is the ratio of earned hours to direct hours. So this tab provides different levels of detail, such as total hours, indirect hours, and indirect earned hours. You can see your overall indirect by direct percentage versus your goal, which here you can see we had a goal of 10%. You also have a trend chart showing performance over time and a breakdown by dimensions that you can drill into, starting from the department level down to individual employees. So, for example, if you right-click, click drill down, now you can see it broken down by resource group. Going a level further, you can see specific employees. From here, you can right-click, drill through, and click labor details and see more information. So now I'll just go back and reset the filters quick. In addition to making selections in the charts, you can use the filters in the filter panel on the right to focus on specific departments or timeframes. For example, if a department had a bad month, you can drill through to see the details and sort by labor type to identify outliers like increased training hours due to a new employee. So you can see here I'm now filtered by the banding department. I can right-click this peak right here and drill through to labor details again to get some insight. And then, as always, you can double-click these headers to sort by any of these categories. The next tab focuses in more on indirect by direct, featuring similar charts, but also showing actual hours. So you can drill down to see the breakdown of indirect hours by department and further analyze specific periods or date ranges. You can also see a value from the last 5 days. So it's cool to see the overall metric and then compare it directly to the last week. Looking at this graph, I can click into the TAP department, for example, and see their specific metrics in comparison to their goal, which in this case you can see is over. Drilling further, I can see all the indirect types and see that most of that time is going towards delivery drivers. And then lastly, a quick reminder that you can always filter by date. So we can narrow it down to 2020 data if we want by going up here and choosing 2020 as our time frame. The Productivity tab offers a similar view, but focuses on productivity percentage, showing breakdowns and trends of earned and direct hours. So the setup is the same as the tab we just walked through, but instead it's focusing on a different metric, productivity percentage. The Overtime tab tracks hours exceeding 40 per week per employee, showing trends and breakdowns by department, allowing you to analyze overtime patterns. So the first graph showcases overtime percentage in comparison to your goal. To the right of that, you can see it broken down by department, and then you have a nice table at the bottom here that you can swift through. Everything is still interactive, so you can click into specific points to get more focused data. For example, if I click this point on this graph, I will focus in on that week, and the table and the graph to the right will change also. And then revenue per hour is another tab that divides monthly revenue by direct and total hours, comparing it to your goals. So here you can quickly assess performance by month and identify any discrepancies. So for example, I can click on September and see revenue for that month. I can see that we had 5,500 indirect hours with about 9,700 for total hours. which makes me think that this month there was a higher number of indirect times, kind of driving that total revenue per total hours down a little bit. And then capacity planning, this takes job start and due dates, estimating hours and grouping them by week to compare scheduled time versus actual capacity. This allows for what-if analysis based on efficiency and overtime percentages. So looking at this graph, the blue represents backwards looking while the orange is forward looking with the line representing capacity. So we define capacity by the number of employees in a department multiplied by 8 hours per day, multiplied by the number of workdays in a week. And then we take into account efficiency percentage and overtime percentage, allowing for that what-if analysis. So switching these numbers will change your capacity line on this graph. And then lastly, the job review tab. This focuses on the difference between actual and estimated hours by job, identifying problem jobs where actual hours exceeded estimates. You can drill through to see detailed operations and individual labor records. By default, it's going to show you jobs completed yesterday. This graph gives you an overview. If you scroll to the right, it'll show you your more problem jobs or the ones where actual hours were higher than estimated. You can drill through this data pretty deep, going from a specific job to all the operation details in that job, and then you can even go into the specific labor details of the specific operations within that job. If you have any questions or want to learn more about how this would look with your Epicor data, please reach out to our team at helpdesk@2wtech.com. We're the Epicor Global Partner of the Year because of our proven Epicor expertise, client success, and innovation. So if you want to see those in action, reach out. Remember to check out the description below for more demos as well.